Now that is how you shove 30 foot of camper into something less than 25 foot long. Hello and welcome everybody to Bish's RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and behind us is a really, I think, exciting floor plan. It maxes out at like 5,600 pounds, fully max loaded, and it's less than 25 feet long. It's only 24 and a half feet long. It is small, light, easy to tow, and with the way that we've gone about founding basically this Wayfinder RV series, the Go Play 20 MB behind us, that we have peeled out a lot of money without peeling out features. That's the coolest thing about this. So if you're not familiar with the Wayfinder story, we've got a whole video on that, but let's focus on the camper back here. What we've got here is a carpetless, ventless floor, pet-friendly, easy cleaning family camper here. If you've had something like a single axle camper and it just feels too tight, you are going to love this thing. And if you've never had an RV before, this is a really dynamite place to start right here. It's got a Murphy bed system up front. It is a bendy bed, folding bed, but it does have a good chunk of pass-through storage under it, which was a very pleasant surprise. Other pleasant surprises on this include the fact that it's 6'9" tall, which makes a big difference, giving you the extra headroom in the shower, more storage, and a little bit more room, about 1.5 inches extra space per bunk, so the kids aren't quite head clocking, knocking around all the time. Or if you got drunken Uncle Gary back there, he ain't waking everybody up trying to roll over, once Aunt Rita kicks him out. But that's a different story for a different day. The underbelly's enclosed. It's solar prepped if you want to go add and stuff. The windows are tinted. Like a bunch of things that some brands do a couple of these. This Go Play series grabs all those absolute camp critical features and peels out all the fluff stuff and gets you something that is lighter, more affordable, and we have these available at literally every single Bish's RV store. You can literally order one straight online through our Wayfinder website, have it delivered to your local store. They'll show you through it, show you how everything works, but we don't do hidden dealer fees. I will tell you though, there's a couple things about this RV that I'm not totally in love with, like the bed size. It's not my favorite, but if you're camping and not glamping and not RVing, because there's a little bit of a difference there, something like this might work really well for you. And your input through this video as we ask you questions may literally shape how we change and evolve this over time. Let's get going.
And really, overall, this layout is just a concert of efficiency. Now, it's got a couple things where, it does show you that it is a little bit more of a budget camper. It's not a fancy glamper, but it's got the right junk in the right places. It's got that Meghan Trainor kind of energy going on. But I'll volunteer something right away. These pedestal legs on this thing, I am not a big fan of those as a person with longer legs. I'd really like to see this swapped out for those free-floating folding legs, but because there's that boxy wheel well over there, that's what we're looking at under the table below those power outlets. It would also require a bracket against the wall, but I'm cool with that because it provides better stability on the table, and it still lets me take the table outside. Now, this one gives us some decent campsite window coverage for no bigger than the RV is, and all this woodwork stuff that you're looking at, that is all pocket-screwed lumber core, so it's not stapled fasteners. It is actually screws into wood. I was also very impressed with the storage around the front bed and sofa, even under the sofa. We're going to get all that opened up later and take a look at all those details. First of all, one of the unsung benefits of a stick and tin camper is the fact that you can put power outlets in the walls basically anywhere you want, because about every 16 inches on center, you've got studs in the walls, just like at home. That's, residential kind of standards there. On one side of the bed, they have this Wombo Combo wireless charge pad that also has dual USB plugs. And I like that because when you don't want it, you say, move, get out the way. Something I was wondering about is if that drawer can open without crushing it. And yes, thankfully it can. I would like it if those wireless pads were on both sides. What the heck? I just turned into Scooby-Doo. Apparently somebody from the factory left their polarity checker over here. Well, making sure the outlets were wired correctly. At least we know they were doing it. So I guess, in a way, it's kind of confidence inspiring, although, they're going to have to go find another one now. Now, these are roof solar prepped. Currently, we do not have any sort of solar option. We're really discussing this hard internally, and a lot of things we need your feedback on. What I would personally really like to see, where I'm at with this, is I would like us to adopt 200 watts of factory standard solar and a 30 amp charge controller by default. And that's probably, I'm going to estimate that's going to cost somewhere between 299 to, I don't know, whatever the price on that tends to be. Do you think that's a case where the juice is worth the squeeze? Considering these are standardized with a 12-volt fridge, that kind of makes sense to me. I like the feel of that myself, but that's just me. Now, you may notice on this more simple basic series, the engineering logic that bacon grease doesn't splatter sideways apparently has been employed. Obviously, that's not the case, as everybody really knows. But that's what you're going to run into on something really built with more of a budget focus. Now, we're staring at the floor because I want to point out what you don't see, and those are floor heating vents. That just makes this, simpler, easy to clean, pet friendly all the way around. Now, there is storage below the dinette benches. I really wish right here next to the entry door, they just knocked a hole right in there and made it a shoe garage. I wish that was just an open air shoe garage right by the door. And let me ask you this, is this crazy thinking? Right over here by the door, what if this didn't have the back on the dinette? What if that was just open air, so this could be like a sit down, put on your shoes kind of bench? Is that crazy? Or does it make a level of sense? Like, I can talk myself into and out of it very quickly. I'm not sure which way to go with it. And I'm not saying this is the kind of camper you want to spend inside all day watching TV, but you see where the TV hookups are straight across from the Murphy sofa where we're sitting right now? If you're going to put a TV in it, that is a very good position for it overall, I feel, personally. Now, moving up here, your double over double bunks, I noticed an interesting inconsistency, and I hope you appreciate how far out of my way I'm going to point this out. The bottom bunk has the cool little foam pocket, has its own little light, and has some household plugs. Now, the window in the back wall does open for airflow. That's all cool. But I noticed only the top bunk gets USB plugs. I don't know. That is one of those things I kind of would like to see on both beds myself, And with this being a little bit taller 6'9" ceiling, it means that each of these bunks can be a little bit higher than they otherwise would be. Now, the windows in the bunks don't face off the campsite of the RV, they face off the back. But if you're sitting here in the living room, if we go back to the Murphy sofa where we were at, you can't see the windows off the sidewall, but I can still use them for visibility here while still having windows off the side of the RV. And I know it doesn't look logical from the outside, but when you actually sit in the RV, it does make sense to me at least. Now, we're looking at a Bert and Ernie 3, or letter E rather, but that's the 3 indicating our 3-year limited structural warranty. These RVs, for clarity, I'm not saying it has a 3-year warranty. Anybody that says this RV has a 3-year warranty and they stop talking, get away from them, because they're snake oil salespeople, basically. This RV has a 1 plus 3-year warranty, which is very common in the industry. But even here, what is for going to be our most basic series of camper, we're still getting you outfitted with something that's at least matching everybody else in the business without matching their price tag, by beating their price tag. Now, something that I really like, you see that the faceplate under the sofa? Take a look at that as we start cracking open all this storage. I love it when the jackknife storage drops down for easy access. You can lift the sofa, but you don't have to. Or you could take that straight off and you could just use it like a, what do I want to say? Just like, well, that could be your shoe garage or anything like that, your flip-flop shop. Now, I had to go into wide angle mode to show you how the Murphy bed works. It is a simple bendy bed. You notice it didn't take me too long though. It is very simple, quick, and easy up and down. I will tell you, you don't have to use it like a Murphy bed, but the fold-down platform comes right up next to the kitchen counter. So if you don't want to use it like a Murphy bed, if you just want to put in a true queen-size bed, you could, instead of the short queen bendy bed that's in it. But if you do that, you won't be able to straight walk around the bed. You'll have to climb over the corner over on the poop side of the camper next to the kitchen. Those two phrases, maybe I shouldn't mash together in the same sentence again, but neither here nor there. There we are. See, I mentioned the storage. There's storage below the dinette. I love the wastebasket storage and drawers in the kitchen. And just kind of, giving you a look around everything here, let you see everything that there is to find on this one. The kitchen's not brand new, over the top amazing. It does what it can for a small space in an RV, though. And once again, if you're going to put a TV in the camper, you're facing, I think, the exact spot you want it. And because it is mounted up high, if you're sitting over here and someone's sitting at that dinette, there, like if I was sitting in front of you, my big old fat balding nugget ain't gonna block the way there. And my high school English teacher would love hearing me say "ain't." She hated it when that got added to the actual dictionary. The water heater. It is gas and electric. It is auto ignition. It is fast recharge, and that's all cool. It's a 6-gallon vessel. That's normal. What are your thoughts on sticking with the existing water heater or going tankless? And when you give me that feedback, like if you say, I want water heater A or B, please let me know, like, do you tend to park camp more or do you boondock more? Because that may help us identify a couple trends here. Now, this is what's called a little bit of a split bath, where the medicine cabinet and the sink are outside of the actual water closet and shower area, as it were. But what that lets you do is, like, if somebody's in there showering, or you know, one of the kids using the potty or something like that, somebody else can be in here washing their hands, brushing their teeth, getting ready for bed, and you can kind of just keep the show moving along a wee bit faster. Wee bit. Get it? Bathroom. Anyway. I love that it's a full medicine cabinet. You know, it's not just a mirror glued against the wall. Now, what's under the sink looks like storage. Not really-ish. Some shallow shelving because there's stuff behind it. There's like piping and stuff. Now, the bathroom is not massive, but it is surprisingly size-friendly. And with this having that taller ceiling, you'll notice that I do not have headroom issues in the shower this one once we get up here. Now, you may also notice how the skylight and the vent fan are a 2-in-1 combo here. And because of price reasons, this is a small conventional fan right from the factory. I think everybody would prefer the bigger fan. But when you find out the bigger fan costs a chunk more, well, that doesn't necessarily always work for everybody. So if you are somebody who does want the bigger fan, easy. We can install that for you. Little things like if you want some solar added to this solar prepped RV, that is stuff that we can do for you. If you need a TV added to it, they're not offered fulfilled from the factory builder, but that's easy stuff for us to accomplish for you here at Bish's RV before you ever take it home.
Now, getting this RV moved around, that's another one of the things that it does really well. If you notice here, it's only 24.5 feet long with full max cargo, which for a camper this size, I think the cargo rating's reasonable. It's not super big and heavy, but it's also not wasteful, you know? What I'm getting at here is you don't necessarily need a big giant monster truck. I think especially almost anything in the way of a late model tow package half ton is generally speaking going to handle this very comfortably. Frankly, some of the more capable towing SUVs, this may actually work for you as well, which could be a very cool thing. Now, the awning I feel like could be a little bit bigger, but if you notice, it kind of is wedged a little bit between the baggage doors. And the thing with those awnings, they can't be ordered by the inch. So it's just kind of stuck in that awkward no man's. You know, like when you're coming up to a traffic light and like you're right at the speed limit. We'll say you're going the speed limit. We'll say you're not going faster. We all know the truth, but we'll say you're going the speed limit. And the light turns yellow at that awkward phase. That's how that awning feels to me. Sorry, that was a big lead up for not a lot of payoff. God forbid you have, a tire failure. The galvanized steel wheel guards right there, that might be a literal silver lining to an otherwise cloudy day. And you might notice how we didn't deck these out with the fancy looking plastic fender trim, because those things, they get warbled over time. They get buffeted by the wind. They get Jimmy buffeted. And the fact is those things break off and they make your RV look like crap. Well, not having those there just eliminates that opportunity, and it doesn't take any function away from the RV. It does have outside speakers. My personal 2 cents, they're up way too flippin' high. If they're gonna be on that side of the RV, that's fine. Hide them inside the kitchen cabinets down low is my personal preference. I would also personally be okay with just getting rid of them. I've been very vocal about that, but what's your 2 cents on that whole scenario? Now, some manufacturers who make this layout hide a little camp kitchen out here under the bunks. That would have really eaten into the already limited awning space. So what you have here is just a handy pocket of storage. Everybody can use storage. Some people like a camp kitchen, so we didn't standardize a camp kitchen on one of these, but at least we do have ourselves the propane cooker hooker coming off the side over here. Now, it is very near to the gas coming out the backside, which would technically classify it as the propanus, but as it is off the campside of the RV, not the backside, that is a propane cooker hooker. It does have a walkable roof. It is prepped for a telescopic removable ladder. That being said, I do like the front pass-through storage on this. You haven't seen it yet. We'll get up there in just a minute. It is not properly, like, there's a full pass-through, but the size and shape of it won't hold one of those telescopic ladders, so that is the thing that you may want to kind of keep in mind. Whether you, I don't know where you end up stuffing that thing. Maybe you just keep it at home and you do your maintenance at home. I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas here. Backup camera prepped, but frankly, you could put a backup camera on any RV, whether it's prepped or not. That's kind of one of those just sort of marketing things in the RV industry. If you buy an RV, or let's say you buy a 1997 travel trailer that doesn't have a camera prep, you can put a camera on it. Don't get your head twisted around on that. Very simple docking station right here. That's where your freshwater fill, your city water hookup's located, your cable TV at the park. Also, your full hot-cold outside utility shower right above the sewer hookup, just behind the tires there. Now, I naturally backed all the way from the RV before I thought to check, or give you a shot of this, but it does have a fully enclosed underbelly. A little camper like this having an enclosed belly is rare. Now, it's not, I don't want you to connect dots that aren't there. Full transparency, this is not at all intended to be some, Arctic Four Seasons polar vortex camper. This is just a spring, summer, fall family kind of rig right here. But that right there was a major surprise to me. Usually with a Murphy bed, when you see those more vertical doors, what that tends to mean is it's just a little side saddle storage pocket. Finding out that was a full pass-through was an absolutely awesome surprise. I just personally did not predict on this one. Now, one of the other things I think is really, really interesting on this, well, two of them actually. Currently, this is 30-pound propane tanks. I like that, but I'm curious. Does it need 30s? I also like 20s because they're easier to exchange anytime. They're lighter weight, they're easier to move around. I kind of feel like I would just go with 20-pound propane tanks on this myself, but that's me. How do you camp? What is your input? And there's no wrong answer to that. We're just trying to farm some input here. The other thing I was going to say was interesting is that you do have a fully integrated A-frame up front here, and that's actually kind of the secret in the sauce in the RV being taller inside but not taller outside. By integrating the A-frame, they don't have to artificially shove the entire body up in the RV. It's kind of a neat little Bob Vila magic trick that, like I said, it makes it taller inside without being taller than everything else like it out there. Now, of course, how much does something like this run? Well, check the links in the video description. On our Wayfinder website, we have all that clearly listed for you. And we have very standardized pricing, basically, pretty much across the nation, so that what you see is a figure that you could really rely on. Now, if you want one of these delivered to your front door, yeah, we can do that. Naturally, we have to pay an RV driver to do that. And maybe this floor plan is close but no cigar for you. We've got plenty of other things that might work for you, both in and out of the Wayfinder series. And this is just where we're starting our whole Wayfinder, basically RV company with the Go Play series. Let us know the kind of things you'd like to see on this RV, or maybe in a totally different segment, like we're working on a laminated segment as I record this. And I'm just really excited to see where this goes. Really almost like one of the very first directly consumer-driven RV designs out there over time. I'm very excited to see what you have to say about it. So leave us some notes. Let us know what you think. Where did we nail it? Where did we fail it? Until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.